Steps dive site in Kamay National Park. Kamay National Park is one of the first national parks in Australia. The site itself was discovered in 1770 by James Cook and was originally called Stingray Bay due to the large numbers of stingrays in the area. Emergency first aid and oxygen should typically be left in the front seat of the car just here. Easy to access and very easy to see. In terms of wildlife, this particular dive site is very well known for weedy sea dragons and giant cuttlefish, along with other typical Sydney wildlife such as blue gropers, yellowtails, sea urchins and so on. Moving on to dive procedure, we do typically like to gear up and do our buddy checks by the cars before reconvening at the top of the steps to walk down to the entry and exit point together. The entry and exit point is a crouch and splash in with full gear on. So mask on, reg in, fins on, BC fully inflated, slipping into the water. Once we're done with that, it's about a 20-meter surface swim to the north or perpendicular to the shore, right out before dropping down to about 4 to 8 meters on a sandy rocky bed. For this particular dive, because we are coming into high tide, the current is flowing from west to east, so we will be going out to the west first. Depending on the time, the current is sometimes flowing the opposite direction, thus making an easterly direction to begin with more appropriate. We will be heading out along kelp fields, hopefully see some weedy sea dragons, and at either 120 bar or about 25 minutes into the dive, whichever comes first, we will turn the dive around. On the way back in, we'll swim slightly south to hit the boulder wall along the south side of the dive site, hopefully see some giant cuttlefish on the way back in, and aim to be at the surface with about 50 bar, including the safety stop. Once we're back up, we'll paddle 20 meters back to the same entry and exit point, crawl out onto the rock, take our fins off on all fours, and walk back up the steps. As for lost buddy procedures that we use, if someone is missing their buddy, they can indicate as such by saying buddy is missing. This means the whole group will stop, spend 1 minute underwater looking for the lost buddy. Hopefully the lost buddy should notice they're missing and do the same, looking for 1 minute underwater. If we are unable to find the missing buddy underwater, we like to ascend, slow controlled descent without a safety stop, and reconnect with the buddy once we are on the surface. So long as everyone has sufficient air, the whole group will then drop back down and continue the dive. In terms of hazards in the area, there is both motorized and non-motorized boat traffic. Particularly when surfacing away from the entry exit point, it is important to be aware of what's above you and use a safety sausage if you have one.